Hey everyone, what's the crack? Um, I'm kind of doing this video because it's timely. I'm doing a poster at the moment, but being involved in motorsport for a couple of years now, um, I've kind of noticed that the people who tend to organize motorsports events are not great at marketing, not great at media, and there's generally not enough money to go and spend on, getting a graphic designer to do any work for you. So I've been involved in drift events and car show events, stuff like that. And in the last couple of years, a lot of sim racing events, being an admin in a league. And I'm going to share with you today my secrets as to why people think I'm a graphic designer when I'm really just a massive spoofer, and you could be too. This is going to be a quick tutorial on how to use somebody else's hard work in a legal way. So you're just using a free poster template or a flyer template to make a car event or a motorsports event poster or flyer, which is print ready and can be sent right to the printers, and you can print out massive posters and all that kind of stuff. So let's dive in. On the screen, you're going to see my web browser. You're going to see Photoshop in a little while, and you're going to see me talking as well. I may disappear at some points just to make the screen clearer, but let's dive straight into it. And the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to Google and just Google something like free event poster templates. There are lots and lots of free templates out there. And one of the first things people say is, "Oh, you can't use a template because you'll have the same poster as somebody else." There are enough posters out there to be completely unrecognizable, and you'll see now what we start off with is not what we're going to end up with, most likely. I haven't decided anything yet. I don't even know where we're going to get them from, get it from, or whatever. But yeah, what we're going to end up with is probably not going to look like the original, but even more so, people who are attending your event probably don't know about these poster templates, that these actually exist. And odds are, even if you get a marketing company to do this type of stuff, they're already using templates like this. So just cut to the chase, do the work. A lot of these templates are free. There are some ones that you can pay for. They're even better. Again, I've used a lot of those in the past. But yeah, let's dive straight into it. So as you can see, I've Googled free event poster templates, and you get a load of results here. So you can see I haven't visited any of these. Let's go for elegant flyer. Don't know if I've used that before. A lot of these look pretty familiar. These are the kind of the out of the box templates that a lot of places have. You can see there's this little free icon on all of them, on all of these anyway. Lots of these pages will have a free section and a paid section to try and kind of entice you in. So I've landed on this section here called free flyers, elegantflyer.com/category/free flyers. I'll link that below as well so you can hit it. This seems to have some pretty cool free flyers. I'm not going to make it easy for myself, so I think I might just choose. Actually, this is like a wedding flyer. Let's see if we can. This to use this template, you need Photoshop, blah blah blah, unlock download. Let's go for the free download. I'll just sign in with Facebook. Continue as Lawrence. Okay, let's go create new account. Download starting in 13 seconds. So let's wait 2 seconds, 1 second, and your download starts here. What that's going to download is your Photoshop files, most likely. I'm not 100% sure. Let's go have a look. Show in folder. Let's just extract it here. When we go in here, we've got a Photoshop, a PSD file. So there's an instruction file as well. Let's see what that looks like. So it's got fonts and stuff. I think I have these fonts, but let's see what happens. Here we go. Resolve fonts. We've got our Photoshop files here. I'm assuming that you guys have some bit of experience with Photoshop, but even if you don't, you should be able to follow what I'm doing here. You can see in the top left, you can see like a zoomed in version of what I'm actually looking at, so that you don't have to squint or whatever. You can watch this on mobile quite easily. We've got this top layer, which is elegantflyer.com. We can just get rid of that. You can actually just hit delete on that. You don't want that. You don't need that at all. We've got some text stuff going on here. Let's see if we can make this guy bigger. There we go. Text stuff. If you want to see what any of these layers are, you can always click this little eye beside it. We've got a title up here. Got some objects. What are these? These are like the circles and stuff like that on the screen. And we've got our main image, which is low resolution because we obviously have to pay for an image like that, I would assume. So let's get rid of that. Let's see what else do we have. In the latest versions of Photoshop, you can just click on the items on the page and you can just get rid of them quite easily. We want to make this into a race event poster. Now we've got a race event coming up. This is actually probably going to air after the championship is announced, so I can talk about it here. But we've got a Formula 3 championship, and we've got a multi-class championship where we've got LMP cars against the Porsche 911 RSRs. So we kind of want to divide this up into two sections. So we'll see how we're going to do that. I'm obviously going to cut out the kind of boring bits of this video, the parts where I'm struggling to find the design. As I say, I'm not a designer, I'm a complete spoofer. I just want to make this look like a motorsports poster. So the first thing I want to do is want to get my logo on the page somewhere. Now what they've done here is they've put this Bloom logo up at the top. Seems like a decent place to do it. I kind of like the way that bar comes across. We don't necessarily need their logo, I guess. But so they've got their logo in here. We don't necessarily need that there. I'm going to pull that out. Bloom, I'm not going to write text here because I have a logo. Let's just get rid of that. And I kind of like that text underneath it. And let's see what this rectangle. So we can do Control T will allow us to transform it. Let's just make it slightly larger. And let's grab our own logo. So I have my logo over here. Pull that in here. So obviously my logo is a little bit bigger than what we have here. Just going to resize this box. Give my logo loads of space. Oops. Now straight off the bat, I can tell that my logo the colors aren't really going to work. Also, these blue lines, don't move those. You can click and drag to move those. Don't move them. They're generally your bleed areas for if this is being printed or whatever. Those edges are probably going to get cut off. So any valuable stuff you want to kind of within that frame. So that looks okay. But what I want to do is I'm just going to change the color on that because it doesn't really look right to me. But what we could do, I mean, if we want to work with that pink, we could change it to pink. It's a seasonal event. Blue works well as well. I quite like the blue. Let's stick with the blue. So what I did there was I double clicked the layer. I went to color overlay and then I chose a color by clicking here. And I sampled the color on the background by just clicking on the color that I wanted. A little dropper automatically appears when this window is open. So, okay, that looks all right. Next thing I want to do is I want to hit the text tool. I want to change this text here. So, causes layout to change. Okay, doesn't change much. And we're going to call this, I'm not exactly sure what the final name is going to be. Doesn't really matter right now. Silly Season Championship. Now, see how that looks. Could right align it, could center it. Works quite okay. I'm going to leave it there for now. So, next thing is I need, usually in a poster like this, you need an event timetable. So the easiest way to do an event timetable is to just create a rectangle. So I quite like the text here on the left. Not sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but let's leave it for now. I think if we can do the timetable something like this, and we can actually, oops, cancel. We can change the fill on that. I'll just do it black, something like this, and then we can, oops, cancel, go back to this. As you can tell, I'm no pro. This is our rectangle that we've created. I'm just going to change the opacity on that. So you can see as you change the opacity, it becomes a little bit more see-through. Becomes enough to be a table where we can actually display stuff, but not enough to be that harsh black, because if it's at 100%, it's really harsh black. It's like a blob on it. So this kind of integrates it into the poster a little bit better. This guy is in our way now. So let's just move him out of the way. We might throw him down here, even though the blue designs behind him are quite nice. And these... just leave them there for now. So we want to show the events. We want to show the cars. Let's see how we lay that out. So we're going to have a Tuesday and a Thursday championship. The Tuesday is going to be the F3. The Thursday is going to be a multi-class championship. So how can we show that there is a multi-class championship and a regular championship, and that it's on Tuesdays and Thursdays? So I think what we should do is something like F3, not too gone on that font. Let's see, what is that font? Century Regular. What's this font at the bottom? Fonts are missing. Okay, that kind of sucks. Quite like that font. Let's find a better one. I could have just downloaded it, but... So the font that we often use in our league is Hemihead. Our logo is actually Hemihead. So I'm going to go and change the font to Hemihead. Hemihead F3. And then I'm going to just tab a couple of times, and I'm going to say multi-class. All I want to bring across here is the dates and the tracks. So I'll just look at the existing championship schedule. So the existing championship ends on the 7th. This is another poster that I templated. Ends on the 7th. So I'm doing this all within one text box because it just makes it easier. November 26th. So as you can see, it's not very comfortable doing these at my gaming rig. So 24th and 26th, probably going to change because it's Christmas, but let's ignore it for now. Okay, so that looks like a date list. Probably afford a little bit of spacing here. There we go. So we want a track list as well, and this white on the pink kind of works. I have my track list here somewhere. So the first track is going to be Road Atlanta. Second is Spa. Third is Bathurst. Fourth is Bikerniki. Sveg. Mid Ohio. Imola. Brands. Sebring. Algarve. So you can see straight away that that doesn't look great. I'm going to just make that a little bit smaller, and I'm just going to park it over here for a moment, and I'm going to get rid of these because we don't need those. Okay, put this over here, and we want these to line up, so we're going to have to adjust the sizes a little bit so that these line up with what's over here. Now it may not be entirely clear because they're left aligned, so what I'm just going to quickly do is I'm going to right align everything that's in here. So just edit this and go right align, pops it over this way. This makes it slightly more clear. Brands hatch is going off the edge. Might just call that brands because people know what brands is. Road Atlanta is causing a bit of a problem now. It's a bit of a pity that that's going off the edge slightly. I might have to put a little bit of a background on that. So I'm going to grab another rectangle. A slight bit of overlap. I can double click here. Do a color overlay. And on that color overlay, I'll choose this pink from the background. I'll change the opacity of the actual thing itself. Well, actually, the text is actually behind. Let me put the text on top. There we go. Now that looks slightly better. It would be good if this rectangle was below the other one though. There we go. Slightly clearer. Make this rectangle the right size. Okay, starting to look a little bit more like, I'm not sure about these designy things, these little branches. Might just get rid of those twigs. Gone. Okay. So that's starting to look, this is our kind of call to action at the bottom. So what do we want to do? We want to say, how do people actually go to the events? This could be your contact details, your opening times, whatever. For us in this case, I guess it's something like join us on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then the next line, for more info and rules, visit www.notelegantflyer.com. We want to visit corsa.com. There we go. That looks decent. This rectangle is a little bit too big. I like this circle. I'm still not sure what to do with it though. Might just hide it for now. Hide these. Okay. Now, this doesn't look very motorsporty at the moment. So what we really want is, it'd be good to get some cars in here or something. So let me just grab some of the car images. So that's where we are right now. It's still, it needs a little something, I think. I think this is a little bit lost. So what I might actually do is just put this rectangle above the other one, like this. And I might give it a bit of like a drop shadow or something like that, so it looks like it's popping up off the page. That could work. That looks okay. It's still not ideal. I think the pink is maybe too similar to what's behind it. So let's go for a slightly darker. Something in the middle seems to work. Let's see what a brighter version will look like. No, a slightly darker one like this seems to work. That kind of does it for me. Works. So this in itself, pretty elegant. This was a wedding poster. It looks pretty generic. Nice swirls, nice design. It would have taken me hours and hours and hours to do this. Right now, this is a good enough poster, I think. But I think we can do better. So I'm actually going to take some. I've done some in-game screenshots of the cars that are actually going to be used. Let me drag those across. So here's one of them. Let's see what that looks like, or where I can put it. I put the F3 car up here. So enter on that. Drag the LMP car in. Put that down here. That's going to be kind of like our main attraction. Show that there. And that's being multi-classed with the 911 RSR. Which matches our pink quite nicely. Let's just get it framed a little bit better. So that looks kind of good. At the bottom it definitely looks good. At the top, might be able to do better. I like that the F3 is there next to the other F3 stuff. Our little roundy badge that we had at the start, maybe we don't need anymore. I'm just going to see if this rectangle would look better if it was slightly smaller. Something like that. I mean, that looks like a pretty good poster to me. I mean, that took me all of, 10 minutes or so. Now, I've done this before. Will take you a little bit longer, most likely. But that's a pretty tidy poster. And I did very little of the work. So I hope that this kind of brings across the message of, you don't have to be a super graphic designer to get this kind of stuff done. I hope it helped you guys. I'll have whatever links possible in the description below. You do need Photoshop. You need a basic knowledge of what you're doing. If you have any questions on what I did there, because I know this was kind of quick, I don't want to make this a boring video. I'll be happy to answer in detail in the comments any questions that you have, or anything that you maybe missed or that I didn't cover clearly enough. So thanks a million for watching, and if you want more content like this in future, feel free to shout. This isn't what the channel is about. This is kind of a byproduct of the channel. This is just something that I tend to do anyway, and that people take interest in. I've done a lot of skinning tutorials and stuff like that in the past, so do shout if you want anything like that. But this is it for today. This is our upcoming league poster, which will probably already be public knowledge by the time this airs. But thank you very much for your attention and your time and your patience, and listening to my potato accent. If you like what you see, hit subscribe, comment, like, all that kind of stuff. There's some links to some other videos showing up on your screen around now, and I will chat to you later.